What is up, guys? Rick Hackus here, and this is the review of the M1A Marksman's Rifle Variant in the Division, agreed by most as the best marksman's rifle in the game. Now, I know I'm a little bit late with this video. It's kind of common knowledge how good the M1A is. However, at the beginning of the Division's lifespan, I did say that I wanted to review all of the different gun variants in the game. Unfortunately, the end of the university semester kind of took its toll, and I had to take some time off from doing that. But now that that's over, I can get back to making these reviews, and I've been using the M1A as of late, so why not just get the review done with? So in this video, we're gonna go over firstly what makes the M1A so good in the Division, what to look for in your M1A role, and lastly some tips to get yourself a high-end M1A. Now, the M1A that I'm going to be using for this gameplay is my purple level 31 SOCOM M1A. Now, I know there's going to be people out there who are going, "Purple, you don't even have the high end," but unfortunately, no, I have not been blessed by the RNG gods. I actually do have a high-end SOCOM M1A, but it's worse than this purple one because of its perk roll, and we'll go over that in a bit. But as you can see with my attachments, I've really tried to kind of emphasize damage. Anything that increases damage, I'm a huge fan of. Even in the magazine, where I could increase my magazine by a lot, I feel that 10 rounds has served me more than enough, and I'd rather just go for a magazine that, in this case, increases critical hit chance and critical hit damage. All about that damage output. But why is the M1A so good? Why is it considered by most to be the best marksman's rifle? Well, it's purely about statistics. If we look at an M1A versus something like the Scar H variant, which also includes the MK17, the M1A does more damage and shoots faster. And the Scar H MK17 variant has a bigger magazine. Now, the thing about that is that who would take a bigger magazine over doing less damage and shooting slower? Almost no one. And because of the magazine attachments being so powerful in the game, if you are concerned with only having 10 rounds in a magazine, you can just slap on a magazine attachment and essentially double it. In fact, with the high-end magazine attachments, you can literally double it, and in some cases, more than double it. And then when we compare the M1A to, let's say, an SRS, a slow-shooting bolt-action rifle, yes, this clearly does more damage, but not by that much. And not only does it not do that much more damage, but it shoots so much slower. Yes, you are getting a damage bonus when you're using those slow-shooting bolt-action marksman's rifles. They do the most damage, and if you want to get, I think someone has gotten upwards of 1 million damage crits with these slow-shooting bolt-action ones. Yes, that's possible. But with the M1A, you're getting, 500,000 damage crits, but you're shooting, 6 times as fast. So clearly, in terms of damage output, it is so statistically favorable of the M1A that it kind of makes you wonder, how did they ever think this was balanced in the first place? But that aside, as you can see statistically and mathematically, the M1A just wins outright in damage output. Now, I did mention earlier in the video that I have a high-end SOCOM M1A, and yet I'm choosing to use this purple M1A. Why is that? Well, as you can see from the gameplay, this purple M1A is definitely still capable of handling itself. I take this into the incursion all the time, and it does melt enemies. But why am I using it over my high-end M1A? Well, it's all because of the roll. In fact, it's not even because of the roll, it's because of one single perk. The most important thing to look for when you're going after not only the M1A, but frankly any marksman's rifle in the game. And that one perk is balanced. The balance perk is going to dramatically improve the accuracy and usability of your gun by making it shoulder more effectively, just making it become accurate so much more quickly. And the best way of explaining this is to simply show you guys an M1A without balanced and an M1A with balanced at the gun range. Right here you can see the M1A without balanced shooting. As you can see, the reticle blooms very easily. But when I switch over to the M1A with balanced, you can see the unbelievable difference. The balanced perk makes this gun so much more accurate, so much more user-friendly, and it gives it the ability to absolutely spam with this weapon to shoot multiple shots accurately at the enemy, melting them just so fast. That balanced perk is so useful, it makes it so that if you have a purple M1A with balanced, it's probably going to be better than a high-end M1A without it. And because of this balanced perk, you'll see me like in the gameplay I'm so spammy with this weapon. I love being spammy with this weapon. What I like to do is get the support station with the ammo mod, making it so that while I'm in this support station, as long as I reload within the little support station circle, it doesn't actually take up ammo. So I can just put down my support station when I'm in a sniper position and just go to town on these enemies. Just get multiple rapid shots, usually on the head. Sometimes I miss, but it doesn't even matter. I'm putting forth so much damage that you absolutely melt enemies. And this really allows me to play really aggressively with my M1A and not really have to take a backseat sniper role. Now, I'm sure some of you are sitting there going, well, this all looks fantastic, but I don't have an M1A. How do I get one? Well, there are several ways to get an M1A. Firstly, you can just get them randomly. You just, throughout the random loot table, you go into the dark zone, you kill some enemies, you open some chests, you can just randomly get M1As. And remember, when doing this, when you're just looting the game, remember those words. A purple M1A with balanced is probably better than a high-end M1A without it. So don't ignore those purples. I know all of the named enemies now with patch 1.1 are dropping guaranteed high-end items, but don't go overboard, deleting and ignoring every purple you see. Again, you're seeing me use a purple M1A, and you're seeing that it can still be very effective, so don't ignore those purples. But a great way to get a high-end M1A, well, there's actually two ways. Firstly, you can actually buy a high-end M1A Blueprint from the DZ3 vendor, but you have to be rank 75 in the Dark Zone. That is a tall order. The way I got my high-end M1A and the way I'm going to be farming my high-end M1As and hopefully try to get one with balanced is from doing the Police Academy mission. Now here I am finishing the Police Academy mission after killing the boss. There's the high-end drop, and what do you know? It's a high-end M1A. But this isn't all random chance. Now, with that being said, admittedly, it's a lot of random chance, but due to player surveys and players filling in the data of the drops they've gotten, it turns out that the boss at the end of the Police Academy mission, Scarecrow, actually has around a 14 to 15% chance to drop specifically a high-end M1A. Certain bosses actually kind of have certain specific high-end drops that they're more likely to give you rather than other stuff. And Scarecrow does have the M1A as a bigger part of his loot table. Now, although a 14% drop rate isn't amazing, and yes, there are going to be people who do this and farm all day and just are unlucky and don't get it, it is better than absolutely nothing. And I was actually just running this Police Academy on hard by myself. It took me like 5 minutes to beat. It was incredibly easy, and again, each time you kill the boss Scarecrow, you have a 15 to 14% chance for him to drop a high-end M1A. That's pretty damn good, and that's probably going to be a lot more realistic for most people than getting to rank 75 in the Dark Zone. And even if you don't get an M1A with balanced, you're still getting an M1A, which is a fantastic gun just in terms of its statistics. It just won't be reaching its full potential. So in summary, the M1A is probably just the best marksman's rifle simply because it outpaces its competition in terms of damage output by a country mile. Now, if you're going for your M1A, the most important perk to look for, as on any other marksman's rifle, is balanced. That's going to let you make the most of this gun's high rate of fire. If you're lucky enough to get an M1A with balanced, remember to accentuate its damage dealing abilities with your perks. You do not need to put on a sniper scope that has a 12 times 15 times zoom. For the longest time, I was rocking a 3.4 times zoom scope and I was barely ever aiming down sights, just because you were using that balanced perk and just hip firing the crap out of enemies and landing rapid, accurate shots. If you want to really improve this gun's performance with a minimal requirement to set armor, consider running 2 Sentry's Call set pieces. This is going to give you the bonus where you deal 30% more headshot damage, which is really going to stack on top of this gun's performance because it's also going to make the criticals just increase so much more because that's just a percent increase from the original headshot damage. Now that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed and found this helpful. Now if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating or sharing this video. If you want to see more Division content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. Now if you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. And we often stream on Twitch where we run the incursion with an open lobby. So if you're having trouble beating that incursion, the Twitch channel is a great thing to follow. Now that's it for the video. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, have a good day.